thank you for joining us for Monday Encouragement video. So last week we spoke about Psalms, and we spoke about the fact that it doesn't matter what our emotions are or how we're feeling, nothing is off limits to God. We can just bring them all to Him no matter what the feeling is. And so this week I just wanted to share about having our priorities right. I'm so excited to share with you this week because our pastor brought out on Wednesday, he challenged us if we're ready for Jesus, if we're ready for God, if we are ready for what He wants to do, if we're ready for the coming of Jesus. And then on Friday, our bishop talked about the fact that God is doing something new, referencing Isaiah 43, that He's doing something new, something that has never been done before, and that we need to be ready for this. We need to be ready for this newness, lined up with Him. And so as mothers, a lot of times it's very easy for us to kind of get our priorities mixed up in how we see ourselves and how we relate to our families or how we relate to those around us in our job. And God is very specific in how we should see ourselves, because we should see ourselves as He sees us. We discussed already that we're fearfully and wonderfully made, that He covers us in silver and gold feathers, because He wants us to look good for Him. But this week I just wanted to discuss having our priorities as far as how we relate to others, how we relate to God, how we relate to ourselves, how we see ourselves. Always remembering that we are not our past, that is no longer who we are. And in order for us to be ready for this newness that God has for us, this new thing that He's doing, as my bishop said, new stands for never ever was. So as we're getting ready for this thing that never ever was, this new thing, we have to have our priorities right in as far as the roles that we play as a mother. So I'm going to be looking at different scriptures today, very short ones but different ones. The first one is going to be in Genesis 1 verse 27, and it says, "So God created man in His own image, in the image of God He created him, male and female He created them." And then I'm going over to Genesis 3 verse 20, and it says, "And Adam called his wife Eve, because she was the mother of all living." So that's the first one we're looking at, is Eve. Then I'm going to go over to Deborah in the book of Judges, and this is in Judges 4, and it says in Judges 4:4, it says, "Now Deborah, the prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, was judging Israel at that time." And the final woman, the final mother that we're going to look at is going to be found in Luke chapter 1, and it's found in verse 30. "Then the angel said to her, 'Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. And behold, you shall conceive in your womb and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Jesus.'" And what I want to point out in these three different women, okay, is that in these three different mothers, is that the first way that they were seen is their role in God, their purpose, plan, and expectation from God. So Eve was created in God's image. It talks about Deborah. She was a prophetess. That was the gifting that God had given her. For Mary, it says that she was highly favored by God. That's how God viewed her. The second role that these ladies took was that Eve was Adam's wife. So then it puts the second priority was relating to the family. For Deborah, it says that she was the wife of Lapidoth. So again, it relates to her family. And then for Mary, it says that she was going to give birth to Jesus. So it's relating to her family. And then the last part, the last priority, or the last hat that's worn, is how we relate to the outside world, as far as our jobs, or as far as the neighbors, as far as our friends. Because then it says that for Eve, she was the mother of all that was living. That was how she related to everything outside of her household. For Deborah, it says that she judged Israel under that palm tree. That's how she related to the outside world, to her community. And then for Mary, she was known as the mother of Jesus and what Jesus was going to do. So this week, moms, I just want to encourage you, as we are preparing and as we are excited for this new thing that God is going to do, we have to make sure we have our priorities right. The first thing is, it's not our children, it's not our household. The first thing is, what has God called us to do? What is our purpose, plan, and expectation from the Father? What is the gift that He has given us? Then it comes to our family. How can we raise our children? How can we cultivate a family, a household that's pleasing to the Father. And the final thing is, what do we do for the outside world? What do we do on our jobs, with our friends, with our neighbors? And I just want to encourage you, let's be focused or mindful this week of making sure that we have our priorities straight, so that we can be ready for what God is going to do in this new season, in this never ever was moment that we're stepping into. God bless you. Have a great week, and I will see you next week, Monday. So I just want to invite you to join a challenge that our pastor or bishop has given us, which is to take communion every day. So I want to invite you to take communion with your children every morning. And as we're taking communion, we're decreeing Jesus saves, Jesus heals, Jesus restores, and the Holy Ghost transforms. We're decreeing that we have dominion over every situation and over every circumstance because of what Jesus did on our behalf. We're decreeing that we have victory over the enemy through Jesus Christ. So every morning, get with your kids and take communion with us.